Nexus. All right, pal. Let's see if we can pull this off.
Okay.
Tonight, it's Act 3, Interlude 1.
Oh my
What
God!
the what?
You remembered the
son of
interlude.
a-
We're going to have more than one interlude in book 3.
You sneaky.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
No, we did
I
not.
had to change the label on my notes.
Oh, man.
So, I'll tell you, even I didn't see this coming because this is a very spontaneous thing happening today. Paul and I just threw this together since the last time we played, which is what, like 4 days ago?
Yeah.
5 days ago?
Yeah.
This was never in my plans for Act 3, but Polly and I got to talking, and once this idea was brainstormed, I really wanted to do it, so we're doing it.
You've now
I
stormed
really
my
needed
brain.
this today after biffing the Wordle, I have to say.
Stories within stories, dreams within dreams. It is the nature of Book 3. Lots of stories to explore. And also, thematically, in Act 1, we thought about and talked about memory and identity. How do you build an identity if you don't know who you are and what you've done? Act 2 was all about loss and consequence. How do you reckon with the damage that you've caused, with the people that you've hurt, the things that you've lost? And I believe our watchwords for Act 3 are going to be change and transition. What does it mean to find what you seek or to get what you want? How does that change you? What happens when you learn something or forget something? When you become? What does it mean to take control or to let go? Who are these characters? Who were they? And most importantly of all, who are they becoming? Not only have they changed, they are all changing. Each and every one of them, even those that fear change. And nothing will ever be as it was. Now let's talk about what just happened to Dabwick. They died. I mean, technically they're still alive, of course, but to them, it felt like they died. It felt real. It felt worse than real, frankly. And then they went briefly insane. I mean, it wouldn't have felt brief to them or likely to the rest of you, even though we were able to mechanically move through a week's time in a matter of a few minutes on air. That was a brutal week for them. We've talked about how this whole sanity rule set is, of course, not intended to reflect real-life mental health issues, obviously, but how it is and can be a storytelling tool we can use in our little fantasy game where we roll dice and make things up. And inside the span of the short runtime of last week's episode, while we were exploring what Dabwick was going through, this major transition they were experiencing, Johnny had Vic drop these two lines in passing. I wonder what my Acnean Mun's doing in Casimir right now. That son of a bitch. He's probably ruining that city. Now, Dabs couldn't hear those words, not in the immediate aftermath of their death. But after they use an occult ritual to split themselves in two, briefly die, and then walk the dread, dead roads between worlds, these words about my Acnean Mun drift back to haunt Dabwick. Along with the words they spoke to Dora only a matter of weeks ago back in Thrushmoor. It was in Mun's house that I first saw Carcosa. In a painting. It's something they've spent so many years thinking about. Not the event itself. In fact, Paul, the event is a little swimmy in their mind. But subconsciously, this idea of a conglomerate city haunted them, captivated them, and inspired them. It became the bedrock of their psyche. But, and especially since all this trouble in Thrushmoor, they've never really delved back into that memory of what they saw and what happened until now. In this transition period between waking and sleeping, life and death, they relive it. And that is the tale we're going to tell tonight together.
So excited.
And Paul is going to set the stage for us for this one. So, Paulie, where are we? When are we?
Well, it's 11 years ago, 4707. Dabwick is 21, and it's 2 years after they got their name, after the bat infestation event in Abbey Green. So we are, of course, in Casimir. And back in those days, Dabs was relatively new to ratting. Not a long road from batten to ratting, eh? But what I mean is, I was new to ironing myself out, so to speak. I hadn't earned me reputation or me title yet. But I wasn't alone. Oh no, I had a small group of young pals what used to hang around together. They fancied me because I could show them places in the city they'd not otherwise be able to, and they loved to go adventuring, you see. Aliana, Chet, and Sam the Sliver. I was older than them. Well, not Aliana, of course. But maybe they was looking up to me to lead them a bit. I preferred the company of younger folk back then. Humans are difficult, sorry. And when I was new to the city above, I struggled to make people friendly towards me. They think I'm some kind of goofy kook. These kids were different. They'd noticed me coming back from a job with a sick dog. A stray what ate a nasty pile of spoilt refuse out behind the Danvers pie shop and was acting up. Poor thing was trembling with exhaustion, and I was taking her back to my place for some water. And these kids rushed to follow and help, asking a load of questions about me, about the dog, about how I could understand so much. They sat in my little room until evening while I cleaned up the dog and got us settled, and we shared our stories. And after that, they made me an honorary member of their little group and would hang around, join me on small jobs once in a while. So, when the butler to an up-and-coming fancy man came to see me about a colony of rats in the master's cellar, I knew me young friends would be game.
Now, I will distribute some character sheets for the roles y'all are going to be playing tonight. First of all, for Polly, here is that Dabwick kid.
Oh, man.
I've got some art for you all, and we have rolled Dabwick back to first level.
Oh, my gosh.
Do y'all get a picture there?
Amazing.
Dabwick. Oh my God.
Wee Dabs.
So, we never knew Dabs at first level, and it's so interesting rolling this back this week. You know, Dabs came in at, what, like 5th level or something?
Yeah.
My gosh, do they seem underpowered.
Yeah.
But we'll move on now. Let's
First
introduce...
level druids are tough.
Yes, they are. Let's introduce who Robert will be playing.
Yes.
Alyana, why don't you give us some background on her first, and then I will share a picture in her sheet.
Sure. So Aliana Kimmeyer is a female elf, 108 years old. She's effectively a teenager. She's the daughter of some wealthy muckety-muck ambassador or consulate official or chancellor set here by Keonan to keep an eye on their shipping concerns. But her position didn't really matter. What mattered to Aliana was how much she wanted to prove to her mother that she should go to university, that she was twice as smart as her father and her brothers combined. She's the one who should be invested in and cared for, schooled and advanced. Aliana has ambition to be a wizard, but all she can do at this point is a simple sort of cantrips most elves learn as children.
Here's a picture.
Aww.
She's quite fetching.
And Robert, let me
see my sheet.
show you your sheet.
I want to see my sheet, man.
All right. Why don't you open her up and tell us what you see, and it won't take you long to describe.
Oh, what an interesting class.
Our first time.
Aliana is a first-level aristocrat.
Oh, no.
The aristocrats.
Not the first time anybody's played an
It
aristocrat.
is not the first time.
She'll be running through that joke later.
Yep.
She's
How many hit points does she have?
this can't be right.
How does it feel?
Not great. She has five hit points.
It's almost like, how can you survive with so few hit points?
It is. Yes. What do we got? She's got an elven thorn blade.
Yes.
With a -1 attack.
Yep.
Let's see what else we got for. She's got no feats.
No, she has 1 feat. She
Oh,
can,
magical training. in
so she
general.
has a feat that allows her
To cast
to
cantrips.
know 3 cantrips and to cast them a total of. She can prepare 3 cantrips. So
How
she
many
will
spell
cast
slots does she-
3. She will be able to cast 3 spells,
Oh.
and they're all cantrips.
Those are zero-level spells.
One
Zero.
time each.
What are they?
Well,
What do you
I
have
would
prepared?
suggest you prepare each of them once. I think that would make the most sense.
But then that's 3 spells a day.
That's it. Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So she's got Mending. She's got Ray of Frost. And Spark.
Again, she has like 2 of the cantrips that children learn.
Yeah.
Mending and
Fixing
Spark.
things
And
and
then
setting things
because
on
she's
fire.
interested in being a wizard, she is delving into some more evocation spells with this
This is awesome.
0-level Ray spell.
Oh my god.
But in the real world, imagine a child being able to cast a spell
Yeah.
that did freezing damage.
Yeah. And this will be a real reminder to us, I think. It was sure fun for me this week as we were putting these characters together to go like, oh yeah, right. These people that we normally play with are so powerful.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The things they can do.
Thoughtlessly.
Yeah, so Alyana has some actually incredibly expensive gear, but yeah, she's got low strength, low dex, low con.
For all the expensive gear, only an AC of 12.
Yes.
I'm so worried.
Okay, let's see.
Fascinating.
Who is next? Let's do Johnny's character, Chet. Why don't you tell us about him, Polly?
Oh, yes.
All right, so Chet Akersville is a Taldane human male, age 19. Chet was big when he was born on the family farm, which would have been a blessing if Chet had a mind for anything other than fighting. From around the age of 6, Chet would wrestle anything he could get his hands on, and after winning all the strength contests his folks could enter him into, they decided to hand him over to the Shipyard Watch as a recruit. Chet is currently making his way through the ranks, and even though the discipline is challenging, he enjoys the camaraderie of others, and he can be patient if there's promise he'll get to flex his muscles.
All right, here's a picture.
Amazing.
And Johnny, that sheet should now be at the bottom of your journal if you want to open up and
yes.
tell us what
It's like
Big old warrior. Oh,
lunk,
man.
a lunk with vacant eyes.
Oh, man. Oh, look at these scores. Intelligence 8, Wisdom 9, Strength of 15. He's so big and strong. Oh, my God. This
So
is amazing.
what's his class there, Johnny?
He's a warrior.
First
my
level warrior.
What that means is you're like a fighter, but you don't get any of the fighter classes. Oh, this is amazing.
Hey, what's the one skill you're trained in?
The one skill that I'm trained in is I am a proud farmer.
He's got a +7 at profession farmer.
That's right.
Yes. This guy doesn't have money. He is wearing some cobbled together kind of padded armor, but because he is an initiate into the Shipyard Watch, he does actually have a long sword, which is better than the club he came to town with. And I think, Johnny, I threw in one interesting
nice.
little human trait there.
Oh, you did give me you gave me that's why I'm so good at being a farmer, because I have Heart of the Fields, ignore fatigue or exhaustion once per day.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
And power attack.
Yeah.
Nice.
There we go.
Nice.
All right. So, next, Katie's character, Sam. Tell us about him, Polly.
So Sam the Sliver is a 17-year-old halfling. Sammy was a mate from early days. Another halfling orphan on the streets of Casimir, likened himself to a rogue and a pickpocket, which maybe nowadays he is. Sneaky, secretive, fiercely loyal, and eager to join.
And here is a picture.
I'm a rogue.
What's Sam's class?
Sam is an expert.
Yes.
I always wanted to be the rogue.
Yeah, that's who
Oh
you
my
are.
God.
Look
Okay.
at your skills.
Yeah, I have skills.
Yeah.
Ranks in many things.
Yeah. Well, many. Relative to other
Relative
first
to
level
other
NPC
things,
classes.
Yes. Profession pickpocket.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Disable device, acrobatics, knowledge local, perception, sleight of hand, stealth.
Yeah.
I got a 15 dex,
I think you might have the best AC of the party.
skill focus, stealth.
Yeah.
Nice. Ooh, a CMB of -2. I've
love
never
it.
seen that before.
And
why the sliver, Paul?
Oh,
Yeah.
that was Sam always fashioned himself like, I'm going to be like the sliver of the night. We would talk about, who he's
All
going
right.
to be.
All right.
It's sort of like his vigilante
His
in
vigilante,
training name.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
He's
what he'd
like,
be
I'm
actually.
gonna
So
be
if he
so
graduates, he'll
cool.
become a
Yeah.
vigilante. Yeah.
If he survives, you mean?
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is exactly what I'm saying.
Hey, I speak modern Osiriani.
Hey,
Well,
me too.
So you are
I-
on one of the major seaports of the world across the inner sea from Osirian. So it's actually a fairly common language to know here.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
What was the point buy for this?
No, I didn't even do point buy. I did the whatever like
Standard array.
No, there's like a standard NPC array,
Yeah.
which is 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, and then with some like racial traits and stuff. Or racial.
Amazing.
I just also want to say that I still have fewer hit points than fucking Robert.
Do you? Oh, right, because you've got a low con, right?
Damn it.
You have fewer than 5?
Yes, I have 4.
Chet's got to have hit points. What
To
is
put all
what
that
Chet
in
at?
context.
Oh, I got a
from
sweet
before.
8 hit points.
Oh, that's
baby.
actually
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That's actually good.
And-
because you're not PCs, you know,
great.
first level PCs get their max hit die plus
Right.
their con. Whoop, roll die. Hey, there you go.
And as an actual leveled class, Dabwick is slightly more powerful.
Yes.
An AC of 16 because they have leather armor on. HP is only 9, but
Still the highest in the party.
still the highest in the party. Has some more spells, actual spells prepared. Not a lot, but a couple.
Yeah, so one first level character with a PC class and 3 NPCs. Is this officially the lowest power group we've ever
Oh,
eventually
absolutely.
with? Okay, fun. It's not quite a level 0, but I wanted to get us close as we could. So, our specific story tonight comes in 2 parts because Dabwick visited the Mun estate twice in their early days as an exterminator for hire in Casimir. And it is important to know, just for a little bit of context, Dabs did not recognize the name Mun at this time. If they had been higher up in society circles, they certainly would have, because he already was a mover and shaker. But Mun's rise to public prominence and citywide fame as this like great philanthropist was only just beginning at this point. But anyhow, it all began the day a very tall for an elf, very wiry even for an elf, very dour-looking elven man in formal livery, black suit with tails, polished boots, the whole works. Basically, Katie, picture my character, Elvern.
Yeah, I was.
Approached Dabs on the narrow, windy streets of the Greyguard's Shadow District. It's almost always dark on the steep hillside here because the castle looms over everything. Well, I do believe you to be the one the rabble over in Abbey Green call that Dabwick kid.
You may call me Dabwick.
All right, Dabwick. If you're for hire, I have a job for you. Nothing up front, of course. Should you prove to be little more than a street rat playing at possessing the skill set you do not actually possess. But remuneration upon completion of the job, you will find, will be more than sufficient.
I'm eager to help, but I want to make sure you understand that my nature of ratting is a little unconventional, perhaps, to what you might be used to. I intend...
Dabwick, say no more. I prefer the unconventional. My employer, Master Mun, just bought a new property. And before he moves in, there is a rodent situation to deal with in the cellar. You are interested?
Damp dark cellars are my speciality, sir.
Then report tomorrow, first thing. And the man gave directions, and those directions were bonkers. Let me take you to a Casimir map. Casimir is a metropolis of over 30,000 people. Go down to Greyguard's Shadow on the south side of the map. You see that there? That's the neighborhood Dabs lives in. So these instructions are basically follow such and such streets down out of Greyguard's Shadow, follow such and such sketchy roads through the most dangerous neighborhoods in the Admiral's Fen district, where the swamp is literally reclaiming the land at a terrifying rate, and then continue out into the swamp on these paths that barely exist until you reach the site where there used to be one of the most notorious prisons in the country before it sank into the swamp a century ago.
Wow.
My employer, Master Martin, works for the Talden Navy, you see, on various experimental and highly dangerous alchemical processes designed for the preservation of our Grand Prince's vessels. Stavian, Emperor of Taldor, Scion of Aradin, Doge of Andoran, Defender of Gault, Primarch in Waiting of Absalom, long may he reign. Master Mon's work is vital for national security, but potentially explosive, and I do mean that literally. He has been searching for a safe place to do his work. Nothing inside the city felt safe enough for the Master. He doesn't wish anyone to be hurt because of his humble work. This new site, however inconvenient for me, will suit him perfectly. I will see you tomorrow then.
Yes, right away.
All right. So now, on the character sheets of Johnny, Katie, and Robert's characters, there is no gear except for maybe 1 or 2 weapons or some armor.
Correct.
These are street rats.
Yeah.
Paul's got a sheet with a whole bunch of gear noted as a reference for things that Dabwick would be interested in having if they weren't a poor street rat.
Oh.
We have no equipment, so we know that Dabwick gathered the gang together, and our first task today is a skill challenge to obtain supplies for this ratting quest tomorrow. So why don't the 4 of you put your heads together, figure out the kinds of things you would want to gather, and
I've got a question.
yes, Sam the Sliver.
You said unconventional. Does that mean we're not killing these rats, but we're moving them?
We will be moving them. We might be killing 1 or 2, depending on how aggressive they are, but we won't know the situation until we get in there. I got you, Chet.
So maybe nets and stuff would be useful?
Oh yeah, net.
It's bound to be dark, too. I can cast light spell. It might be good to have a torch or 2.
I'll put it on my sword.
It's a great
It's
idea.
good to put it on a coin what you can pocket later and then hide if you need to.
Okay, put it on a coin.
Yeah.
Who has a coin?
Yeah, give me a coin.
You'd have a coin. Eliota would have a coin. Yeah.
Fine. Use my coin as usual.
I do not have a coin.
Can I put it in my pocket?
I'll hold the coin.
All right.
Well, I'm pretty good at looking ahead and stuff, so maybe I hold the coin.
Oh, I got an idea. Rats like to eat, so let's give them something to eat. And
Not
then-
cheese, yeah?
Yeah,
All right,
let's get a big wheel of
Perhaps
cheese.
a snare of some sort.
A humane snare, though, right?
Either way.
I'm going to pick up some of my alchemical pheromones that will help attract and repel rats. I also have a masking scent that we can all put on that will make us all smell to rats like rats. And
You
they
don't
won't
think we do already?
trust me, they can smell through all that filth. Oh. But do you think you guys are game for this little venture?
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
I also think Dabwick would want to pick up a little lunch to take on the way, because we might get hungry.
Definitely.
Pick up some fish pies for us. Yeah?
Oh, I like fish pies.
So I'm hearing nets, torches. Do you want oil?
Oil? Yeah. Maybe some marbles if you can find any, I don't know. Just in case
Rope?
we need to, ropes. Oh,
Well, perhaps 50 feet. 50 feet of rope.
In this
think we only
campaign,
get
it only comes in
45,
45.
yeah.
Can I get a big stick?
Like a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
Sammy, remember those sticky bags?
Yeah, them tanglefoot
The
bags.
Tanglefoot bags. Maybe we should get one of those just to help cover an escape if we need it.
Absolutely. That's what I was thinking about, the marbles.
Oh, marbles. Right.
Is it outrageous to think that we might want something in case one of us were to get hurt? Is healing out of the question?
If anyone gets really hurt, I can stabilize us.
All right, so I'm seeing a shape for this. We are going to attempt to go to one location to get lunch and cheese. We're going to attempt to go to another location to obtain alchemical pheromones, masking scent, and maybe a cure light wounds potion. And we're going to go to a third place to get some more conventional adventuring gear if we can. Rope, 10-foot pole, marbles, and tanglefoot bag in some combination. So, Paul, why don't you figure out where the location is that you all are going to go to attempt to get lunch and cheese?
The first step we should go to is Mr. and Mrs. Danvers' pie shop. I love their fish and pea pies. And I bet we could get a little bit of cheese, too.
All right, so in the style of what we did on the skill challenge night, we're not going to play this entire scene out, but I want each of you to pick the skill that you think you might use at this location to obtain these supplies. We'll make some checks, we'll total up some points, and we'll see what you walk away with. So, Paul, these are people that are friendly to Dabs.
Correct.
These are people that Dabs goes to a lot.
Correct.
How would Dabs feel about potentially any members of the party stealing from them or pulling the wool over their eyes? Or
I would rather try to negotiate a exchange of pies now, pay later.
I'm not that great at negotiations. If you change your mind, let me know.
I'm not that great at it either, although maybe I would get some kind of advantage because I know them.
yeah, you would.
I might know a little bit about them that might help.
I can be rather diplomatic or a bit intimidating, whichever seems to be most.
Maybe with
That's
a little
right, you
bit
can.
of, maybe with your diplomacy and
I got an idea.
Yes.
So back on the farm, like we would, have to make our own stuff and everything. And like, you'd get some food that would be really like good, but then you get some that was really bad. And we don't need like
I see
the
where
good
you're
food.
going.
We just get like some of the bad food.
Somewhat they
And-
wouldn't otherwise sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dead
And,
clever.
and you're
yeah.
thinking profession farmer to recognize the food that they might not need.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great.
pies with broken crust, that sort of thing.
Right, that what don't look good.
That one's going bad.
Talk to me a little bit more, Katie, about how you think Sam would use knowledge local.
Well, Sam might know that they are particularly endeared to people, things, or
I got an idea. Okay, let's start with Sam's knowledge local roll. Give me that check.
nothing. Wow, I got an 8.
That's good.
I rolled a 3.
So I think Sam's bright idea was because of their knowledge of the area, they know that the Danvers' dog has gone missing, and maybe while they're on their way there, Sam's pretty sure they could find that dog by asking around, and they completely failed to do so. But by the time you catch up to them, Dabs has already promised that Sam's going to appear with said dog as the rest of them
dear.
are talking to them. Alyana and Dabs are going to use diplomacy. Let's start with Alyana's.
Good luck, guys.
Well, that's a 2 on the die for a 6. A 6.
Looking pretty good over here, ain't I now?
And Dabs' diplomacy, and I'm go ahead and because you know them so well and you've known them for so long, go ahead and add +5.
What's 0 plus 5? I rolled a 1 on the die, and I get. I have a nice -1 to diplomacy. So
Are we sure we don't just want to steal them?
It all comes down to Chet. Give me that knowledge. Give me that profession farmer check.
That cheese there, that doesn't look very good. That's gonna get somebody sick. You don't want to sell that. Oh, I got a 20.
Oh,
Hey,
Okay.
Chet.
That cheese really
Maybe
is
we
bad.
only get the
it would
cheese.
make you sick.
okay. So 1 success out of 4 means you maybe get some stuff, but there are also consequences. So here's how I'm thinking this. You do not get any lunch. Tomorrow, like as per usual, with the exception of Alyana, you're gonna go hungry tomorrow during the day. But you got a little bit of some nasty ass cheese that people wouldn't want to eat, even Chet, but you could use for the rats. All right, so we got a little bit of cheese.
Guys, we got a little bit of cheese.
Oh, it's all coming together.
Paul, next. Where would Dabs take the group to try to get alchemical pheromones, masking scent, and a cure light wounds potion?
Maybe we should think about stealing things.
we would go to Dolbeck Furthert, the dwarven male shopkeeper. He focuses on leatherwork, and he has a lot of chemicals that he uses to help him with his leatherwork.
Oh, so he is not an alchemist by trade, but Dabs hangs out, and in their own process of learning how to do all this stuff on their own, their connection with their understanding with the city, they've learned how to maybe take some of his extra stuff and turn it into useful.
He's got tannery
yes,
alchemical needs, so yeah, it all kind of works together.
Doltec. All right. How, on what terms is Dabs with Doltec?
Familiar, but not necessarily friends. Just familiar.
All right, so y'all want a bunch of chemicals really quickly. And maybe a Cure Light Wounds potion? What's the plan to get these supplies? What would you leave with, Dabs?
Deltec, I know that we've had some business in the past. This time I need a little bit of a favor. Wondering if we can scavenge some of your leftover chemicals, put together some of my mixes for vermin, and in return, we come back and give you a little business on the back end.
So you're saying you give me no money now, you take my stuff, and then you come back and maybe you buy something from me, possibly in the future?
I'm more looking at some of the things that you're not using, Doltec. I don't mean any disrespect, sir, but I'm just looking to gather some of your materials that you ain't using.
And how would you identify said materials?
With a knowledge dungeoneering check?
Okay. And how would Sam contribute to this?
While the dwarf's distracted with Dabwick,
Yeah.
I might sneak into his stalls and see what I can find.
All right. You talking the sleight of hand?
I thought stealth first, just as I don't want to get caught. But I could do sleight of hand, whatever you think.
Yeah, I think sleight of hand.
Yep.
I think sleight of hand.
I think with our relationship, it might be fun to try and keep it from Dabwick too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. So
that's
then
what
stealth.
that's what I was
stealth.
getting at.
I love it. Great. Alyana's observing this. What's her thought here?
Diplomacy just worked so poorly for her last time.
You could help me.
She's a rich family's daughter. She might be used to getting her way, and out here in the world where she's not with her parents, maybe the way she speaks.
She's pretty decent. I mean, her best skills are knowledge, arcana, and perception, neither of which I think would be appropriate here. But she's got bluff, diplomacy, and intimidate. I think trying to bluff some way, like increasing the importance of what we're about and that we're actually working for.
Maybe implying your parents are involved somehow without saying it,
And that there could be a reward later if he's helpful to us.
I love it. And Chet.
I think that Chet is looking at this and having grown up on a farm, is like, oh, there's always stuff to do. There's always work that needs to be done. And so he's like, I'm a big, strong guy who did a billion chores on the farm. Looking around, is there anything like that seems apparent
Take it
that
out
he
in
could
trade.
do? Where
Like
he's
offering your services for the afternoon while they continue to...
yeah, like literally, or just not offering, just being like, just as they're talking, just walk over and start to do things. Because he's not smart enough to be like, oh, I'll offer. Just be like,
I'll help you. You know, you need help too, so I'm gonna help.
So is this a strength check you're throwing in?
I'm not. You tell me. Is it a strength check?
I buy that.
All right, I'll
buy
do that then. Going like, oh, this stuff is over there. It needs to be. All those big pieces of leather hide need to be
Moved
beaten
or whatever. Whatever.
whatever.
So I think we're getting a clear insight into Dabs' daily life, which is Dabs is organized and efficient and direct and is surrounded by cats. Okay, Dabs, give me a knowledge dungeoneering check. This feels like a little bit of stretch to me, so I'm going to make this average DC, not easy DC.
Sure. That's a 25 knowledge dungeoneering.
Success. Sam, let's see how stealthy you are in staying out of Dabs' sight.
19.
Success. Alyana, let's see how this bluff goes.
My family is certainly worth getting on your good side.
Oh, I love it.
14.
Okay, and that's a success. And Chet, give me your strength check.
I like this tall, strong teenager walks into a dwarf's.
Here, let me just move that for you.
Picked it up. These all belong on the top shelf, right?
This anvil is very heavy. Oh.
Why did you pick the anvil?
Oh, my toe. Oh,
Looks like I can't go adventuring, guys.
let me move it over
What
here.
did you get? What did you get?
I got a 7.
I think
What is the story we have told just
For-
now?
for down the line, I don't think the long-term impact on the relationship with Doltek here was positive, because Chet dropped some shit that should not have been dropped, and even though Sam managed to successfully sneak out with an actual Cure Light Wounds potion, I think Doltek did notice later that it was gone, and recall that the only people in the shop that day that he would suspect of that were the street rats. So, put the alchemical pheromones and masking scent on your sheet, Paul, and somebody's Katie.
I have to keep it because I'm trying to keep it from Dabbling.
Okay, Sam is holding the Cure Light Wounds potion, and Dab has no knowledge that it was stolen.
Oh, my toe.
The last
I'm not giving you the Cure Light Wounds potion for your bloody toe, mate.
Chet's limping the rest of the day. So the last spot would be someplace, Paul, that Dabwick would go to buy, borrow, or steal adventuring supplies, kind of standard adventuring supplies.
Well, my friend Uth Ashgrove, he's a druid of the wild. Uth Ashgrove is a druid of the Wildwood Lodge, and he also manages a shop of adventuring gear close to the swamp in Admiral's Fen.
Oh, okay. That is a very seedy area. Is Uth a kind of shining beacon of light amongst the grime, or is Uth a little suspect?
Let's say Uth is a little suspect and has a darkness about him.
Okay.
So that means we can steal from this guy, right?
And what's the relationship like? Is it good? Is it just we know each other because maybe Uth has dropped a few bits of knowledge on
I think
Dabs?
actually Dabwick's learned Druidic through the help of Uth and the Wildwood Lodge.
Okay.
So it's a strange relationship, but it's a Druidic relationship.
There's a bond because of the connection that you share to the earth and the city, but not necessarily what you would call a friendship, or even strictly a mentorship.
More of a professional
Yes.
courtesy
Understand.
and understanding.
And I want to make sure I understand too about Chet. Chet is like a watch in training.
He is like an entry-level recruit for the shipyard watch. So, like, it's kind of like being... I'm thinking about the beginning of the Three Musketeers, where you can't be a musketeer first. You first have to be in the King's Guard. But before you get in the King's Guard, you actually have to be in the so-and-so and such and such. This is like entry-level city guard position. But the naval ship... This is the Imperial Naval Shipyard. So there's some prestige to it. Not everybody can get in.
Okay.
You've definitely shown enough skill at clobbering to get in.
Excellent.
So we've got sort of a shady druid that Dabs maybe wouldn't worry too much about if something goes missing, but Dabs would be nervous about offending.
Yeah.
All right, so what would Dabwick's tack be to get adventuring gear?
Well, I
We
was,
could do something different where we don't even talk to the guy. I'm just saying.
It is an option.
well, Dabwick has higher skills are in perception,
Right.
survival. Not too bad in knowledge, nature, or stealth.
What was that last one again?
Stealth. Got a no ranks, but a little.
Because
a bit of
if there's a
bonus in stealth.
back door to this place,
And Dabwick wanted to play lookout
we
if
don't
Dabs is
even
open
have
to this.
to. We don't even have to talk to him at all.
Dabwick's so lawful and so good. Not good.
Not good.
Not
Not
good.
good.
Right.
But lawful. That's
But
pretty.
all right. So here's the thing. I know Earth's not going to be too keen on loaning us supplies, but I know where they keep the main bulk of the things we're looking for. So
And yeah, and maybe he wouldn't want to loan it. Maybe if things got returned and no one was the wiser,
Wouldn't even notice.
like no harm, no foul.
They're so distracted by their meditations on the wider world.
Yeah, let's find out if they are. Okay, so Dabs is going to use perception to keep an watch out.
Yeah.
I assume then that we're going to try stealth again.
Either that or disable device, whatever we need
Oh,
to
to
do
break
to get
in.
in.
Oh, I could-
yeah, to
I
get in
could
the
also
back
go in
door.
and perhaps to chat with the fellow for a bit
Yes,
to distract him while
Distraction.
things are
Always
going
a
on
good
in the back
thing.
door,
Okay.
with perhaps either a bluff or a diplomacy.
Maybe, Chet could just sit this one out.
I got an idea. I could do one or two things. I can either come help you carry the stuff,
Oh, that's a good thing.
or
'cause
I
I'm
could be
pretty
like
small.
your bodyguard.
My bodyguard.
Yeah.
Lend a little credence. Not bad.
So what skill do you want to lean on there, Robert?
I think diplomacy.
Okay. And so you are going to go in as if maybe a normal shopper.
And I'm pricing things. I'm asking a lot of questions, trying to kill time. Oh,
Yes.
what kind of rope would you suggest in this instance? Or what kind of pole? What's the best wood for a 10-foot pole?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Maybe don't ask about anything we're actually trying to steal.
Ah, that's a good point, yeah.
Just in case, he goes to check.
Skill-wise, anything make sense on your end then? Johnny, let's find one that you can roll.
I mean, I
You would be believable as a bodyguard.
as a bodyguard, yeah.
Yeah.
Armed, right?
Let's say you're going in as a bodyguard.
Awesome. In that case,
Because I think I'd have to make you roll something stealth-wise
Yeah.
to go in with Sam. And
absolutely.
I don't think that's going to go well for anybody.
I think in this case, I think it should be an absolute disguise roll. Attempting to disguise myself as a bodyguard.
Do you have
Johnny
intimidate?
just throwing himself under the bus from the skill challenges. I'll be the failure.
Do you have intimidate? Because you could just be there, the strong, silent type, but trying to look intimidating.
Oh,
I mean, I
Is
could
it
try.
as good or better than your disguise?
It's just as good
Equally
as my
bad.
disguise.
I'm detecting Johnny having fun, not being the one the skill challenge is totally relied on.
detecting that as well. I think I would like to
Let's
do,
have you roll disguise then.
All right.
I would
All right.
like to do stealth, I think, if I can get away with that. But
No,
it's
you
up to
cannot. We're going to do disable device because you have to break into the
Oh,
back
right,
door.
right. That's what I said. Yeah.
All right, so Dabs, give me this perception check as you're keeping watch while Alyana and Chet head in.
That's a 17 on the dot, plus
Success. Plus,
Ooh, that's
a
good.
good. That's really good. Alyana goes in with Chet. Let's see how Chet is carrying himself as Alyana walks in. Give me that disguise check.
This is going to be awesome.
It's going to be so bad.
I got a 15.
Oh my god. I had set the DC at 16, but I'm so intrigued that you didn't totally bomb this. I'm going to give it to you.
Excellent. All right.
Alyana's diplomacy.
All right, here we go. That's a 18.
Oh my gosh,
All right,
great.
this is how it goes. So before you get in there, literally the door gets kicked in, and I walk in. And I'm like,
Clear.
Oh god.
It feels like between the distraction in the front and the lookout in the back that I should get a bonus to this roll.
I just changed the difficulty of your DC, Katie, because this is all going pretty well. Go ahead and give me a disable device check.
Well, that's an 11.
That was the DC. Remember, you are zero level.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay, that is 4 successes. That means get the stuff plus a boon of some sort.
What's what we didn't think of that we need?
One thing you never in a million years could actually afford as a 0-level party. Like, honest to God, Alchemist Fire is so far out of your ability to
Alchemist
afford.
Fire.
one alchemist
Yeah,
fire
yeah,
would
yeah.
be huge.
Could I roll a stealth to pocket the alchemist fire without the rest of the party knowing?
Sure. I mean, you're doing this by yourself, so you don't have to tell. You can tell them.
Well, I don't want to go clanking around with it either. I want them to not know after I come out that I've got it.
Give me a stealth check.
Don't worry, guys. I'll give it to you. I just at 21.
All right, everybody roll perception. Anybody get 21?
I did.
Okay,
But I don't know you did.
8.
perfect. Okay, so somebody put marbles on their sheet.
Ooh, I will.
One person put a tanglefoot bag on their sheet.
I will. Sorry, guys. I have good decks.
One person add a net to their sheet.
I will add the net.
Everybody can take one torch and 1 pint of oil. This is a lot for a little halfling kid to get out, isn't it? Yep. No 10-foot pole, I'm saying. There's just no way. And somebody, probably Chet, put 45 feet of rope on your sheet. All right, overnight. Where do they eat tonight, Paul?
I love this little tour of Casimir's underbelly.
I think I know where we eat.
Tell us.
I think that because Chet is like the lowest of the low, like entry-level thing, there's still like a little bit of graft. And, you know, if you're walking into one of these places that you're supposed to be protecting as a like watchman kind of thing, like be like, give me, you know, I get a free meal when I walk in.
So especially take a look back at your map here. So Admiral's Fen is the seediest of the seedy, where the criminals and crooks and everyone hang out, and it's right next to the Imperial Naval Shipyard. So I think you're right, Johnny. It's very easy for someone to kind of walk in, throw their weight around as a member of the Watch, and yeah, absolutely. And then it's a 2-hour walk to the site tomorrow, so if they want to be there first thing, they will need to get up with the 4 a.m. tolling of the Citadel bell tower. So in the morning, you all take that incredibly long walk. You meet at Dab's place in Greyguard's Shadow, down the steep hill into the swampy Admiral's Fen, and then, like, wading through the kind of sludgy semi-river that's now sort of separates this part of the city from the swamp, out into just vast, mosquito-y, disgusting, overhangy swampland, which you walk in for well over an hour. And finally, you arrive at the one-time infirmary of this collapsed prison. Let me take you to a map.
Not creepy at all.
How much do we have to worry about the gallon of water I'm supposed to water the rosewood armor with every day?
You do that overnight at home. Well, while the rest of them bed down in the streets or in the barracks, in Chet's case, you spend the evening getting your hair brushed by servants and your armor watered by...
So I still stay with my family?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right, is that the idea, Paul?
Yeah, absolutely. Just to...
So I'm not covered with shit?
No.
No, you are not. You are not
I mean, we
covered
just
in
waded
shit.
through the fen,
Well, right.
so you are now.
Yes, understood.
All right, so let me tell you about the outside. The gales of the inner sea have taken their toll on this grim old pile, thick with the fetid odor that blows across Blackwood Swamp when the wind is high. A venerable building rises 6 stories from a windowless ground floor to a high, steep gable far above. A single great iron door scowls at visitors. This small, austere garden is decaying around you out front, and there's this rusting iron fence 6 feet high pierced with a gateway, through which you walked through, and you walked under a murder of crows. There's this dangling sign from one chain blowing in the breeze over the front door of this place. It was once held by 3 smiling angels. Now it's only held by 1 angel without a head. And the sign reads, as it's battering back and forth, at just like as the sun is just rising, "Give succor to the troubled." And this giant iron knocker. So
that ain't disturbing.
So off to the side, like 100 feet away, you would see where the giant prison sank into the swamps. There would be this massive sinkhole with just stench and steam coming out of it. Maybe the tip tops of old crenellations on top of this building still kind of jutting out about waist level now out of the swamp. So, entering the space, the butler is there to meet you, and his name is Elisar. Go ahead and walk into the front room. So you enter a small entry room. There's a room with an open door to the north that looks like at one point might have been sort of a meeting room size. There's nothing in there right now. Why don't you pass through the room to the south and then out to the west? You pass through another sort of empty space and you come into a large room that is situated around an opening in the center of the floor. There's a series of worn handrails preventing like careless falls to the ground below. Can you see the table down below?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Picture an old, rusted surgery table. So this is where people would come to watch. This is a surgery auditorium. People would come stand in this room to look down to watch doctors perform surgeries.
What's this door here?
So on the north side of this room, there's a set of wooden stairs that go up. And on the southeast corner, there's this very curious accordion-style metal grate covering an open 5x5 shaft, like an elevator shaft.
Is this where they slaughter the cattle?
I think this is a prison, mate.
It was.
For people, not cows.
It was at one time a prison. Now, Dabwick, here is the situation. Master Mon only just acquired this property, and as you can see, there's so much to do to get it ready for his arrival. My intention was to begin from the bottom and move my way up. There are 2 floors below ground level. The old surgical auditorium just below, you can see, and then the storage cellar far down into the earth. So far down that they employed this elevator in the old days, and I've been working on getting that in running order again. Now, the cellar was, of course, infested with rats. This was no surprise to me, but I fully expected them to disperse to other environs at the first sign of traffic here after so long. They have not. They persist. They even struck me as being particularly aggressive. Something has them agitated. In addition to that, the elevator keeps breaking. I can't figure out how they're doing it, but every day when I return, the elevator is non-functional. Some days I can fix it, others not so much. Must be getting in the gears, knocking the chains, I don't know. I have an expert coming, but for now, I am sorry. You and your gang will have to climb down. And then he sort of opens the accordion gate, and you can see on the side of this elevator shaft that, for all intents and purposes, as far as you can see, is bottomless. There is a set of iron rungs hammered into the walls that will take you down. And right above you, you can see that the elevator seems to have been kind of parked out of the way so that you can actually access the shaft.
Is there something concerning you, Sam?
Is he saying that the rats are the ones what messing around with the elevator?
He doesn't know. He doesn't know, but that's what we're going to find out.
So he goes away to the other side of the room where he's got a little table, he's doing some paperwork, and he's like completely oblivious to you. Lets you do your thing.
I don't like it being above us.
In case it comes crashing down.
Who's
But
first?
I'll be the first one to go if you can give me one of them light spells. I'll try to sneak down and see what's what.
I think that's a good idea. Anything else that we need to say to Alisar before we exit?
I didn't like the way he paused before he said gang.
Oh, he don't like us.
No, I don't
Do you
think
think he
does.
forgot the word?
No, I don't think that's what it was at all.
I think he wanted to say something else.
All right,
I think
listen,
he
kids.
disapproves.
He may have some preconceived notions about you, but
Does
don't,
he know who my family is?
He probably doesn't, but don't
Should I
roll
tell
it
him?
against him. No, let's just keep it to ourselves, and we'll go downstairs and deal with this mess downstairs, yeah? Together?
Yeah,
Yes, all right.
ready?
Of course, yes,
All
all
right.
right. Yes.
So light spell,
I start to tie the rope around your waist
Thank you.
and then sort of tie the other end around my waist.
And a light spell on a coin
Yep.
in your hand.
Yep.
so we're gonna climb down the ladder,
I'm going to scout ahead.
yeah, while tied to Chet.
Well, like belaying it so that
Yeah.
so
Perfect.
that it's
Love
you're not going to
Just
be
in
able
case
to.
I have to jump down suddenly, you're not coming down with me. You can let go.
No, I'd be braced in the doorway.
Love
Yeah.
it. So
Right.
Sam the Sliver, rope tied around his waist, a light coin in hand, begins climbing down the shaft. Give me a climb check there, Katie.
My favorite.
Yeah. With all your characters.
Does the shaft, does it go to both levels or does it go all the way straight to the second level?
It does go to both levels.
There are rungs, right?
Yes, there are rungs.
Okay, I got 5.
Okay, it's DC 0.
Yeah.
So Sam is easily able to make it down to the actual surgery floor level, and you all are easily able to follow. So I'm just going to bring you all
Great.
down to that map. You can poke around just a little bit. And just, a little bit behind the curtain, one of the reasons that we are doing this is because Paul and I were talking about, honest to goodness, Dabwick does know the full layout of Mun's house.
Mm-hmm.
And so rather than just throwing a map in your journals, we thought it'd be more fun to give you all a chance to kind of walk around it, just in case down the road you ever happen to come here again.
I don't see how that's ever going to happen.
No. Let's see.
Mun, you ain't going to see him.
There's just rotted out remnants of old medical supplies, some falling apart tables, this rusted out surgical table. It's like a 30-foot wide by 40-foot wide room. So just walk around a little bit. Nothing much to see here at the moment. Now the next stretch down the elevator is the one that the butler indicated was kind of a long way down. So this will be another climb check from Sam to lead the way.
Another 5.
All right. And Sam is a teenaged halfling climbing a ladder sized for humans.
Yeah.
I bet that's probably part of the difficulty.
Yeah.
While also trying to
They're
keep a
spaced
coin. And,
too
they're
far.
spaced so awkwardly
I think he's got the coin in his teeth.
in his teeth. Sam gets about 50 feet down, sort of the edge of the rope. Still can't see the bottom.
Lets them know.
Okay.
Can't see the bottom at the end of the rope. Gotta keep going, yeah?
Should I come down with you?
Maybe come down another 30 feet or so.
Okay.
So we'll stagger it. So
Great,
that he's
yeah.
still hanging out.
Then Dabs and Alyana follow behind Chet.
Yeah.
All right. Climb checks from everybody.
Oh, I made a 6.
All right.
Rope.
I rolled a 3 for a 2.
Oh my God.
I rolled a 4 for a 7.
Wow.
All right. So, long story short, you do all end up at the bottom of this 120-foot long descent.
Wow.
You find this large cellar room, which it's about 10, 20, it's about 25 feet wide and extends well beyond your vision from this light token. It is filthy and damp. There's the sound of dripping water all around you. The walls that you can see, this cellar sort of narrows to a fine point where the elevator emerges. So as Sam is the first out and you all sort of jiggle around to let Dabwick follow, the quarters are tight on the western end of this room here. There's water dripping down the walls. You can see probably on this map a couple of sort of stagnant pools all around you. And the air is thick with the scent of rats, the scent of rat droppings, and the sound off in this distant sort of cavernous space of rat chittering. Everybody give me perception checks.
Ooh.
Sam's in front.
24.
Dabwick.
I rolled a 19 plus 9. 28.
28.
Alyana.
14.
And Chet.
I got a 13. That's pretty good.
Sweet. You're smelling the rats in the air. You're hearing the sound of rats chittering off in the distance. Sam moves up, and Chet and Dabwick are coming in right behind him, sort of in flanking positions behind him. Alyana steps out of the elevator shaft.
Oh, God.
Just in time for the sound of a high-pitched coming from way above you, and slamming down in the center of the group is this freaky-ass little 2-foot-tall creature. I've got art for you.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
What the fuck is that?
Exactly.
So it's like a 2-foot-tall insectoid humanoid creature with this flat, spiky head, and it's holding this very well-crafted warhammer that is too big for it. So now, it's right next to, lands right next to Alyana, comes up to barely knees. It's coming up to like barely waist height on the two of you that are halflings, and it's just like, way down there for Chet. But it is howling and brandishing its warhammer. Let's everybody roll initiative.
I don't think this Elisar fellow was totally forthright with us.
So this is not bigger than me, is what you're saying.
It is somehow smaller than you, which seems
Unlikely
bonkers.
at best.
Yes. All right, Dabik, what'd you get?
19.
And let's see, Chet
3.
and Sam,
13.
Alyana.
7.
A nice lucky 7.
Yes, I'm sure it will be.
All right, perhaps unsurprising as the only person here with actual PC levels, Dabwick is the first to respond to this situation. Here's the sound of this creature leaping off through the air, and it had obviously been clinging to the stone wall above the door of the elevator, where it lands very boldly for something so small in the middle of your party. What does Dabwick want to do?
Dabwick will take a move action to draw their quarterstaff
And
attack it.
great, awesome. Go ahead. Give me a roll.
That's an 18
That's a hit.
for 5 bludgeoning damage.
So the quarterstaff spins through the air, whack, slams down like right across the head of this fucked up little creature. It just goes and stares back at you, seems to be unharmed.
Oh dear.
Sam is up next. You are also adjacent to this creature. You just watched it take a fairly hefty blow from your companion here and didn't seem to hurt it. What does Sam want to do?
Oh. Sam draws a dagger and tries to stab it. Maybe it's just that its little chitness stuff makes it bounce off things like a staff.
Dabs is trained in knowledge nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't Dabs see if Dabs knows what this is?
Don't know about that. That's a 12.
This is a gremlin, which is a fey creature. You know they're reasonably common in that you recognize it as a gremlin, but gosh, the thing with gremlins is there's so many different kinds. They're all so different. Dabs isn't exactly sure what kind this is, but here's what Dabs knows about gremlins in general. Because they are fey creatures, they usually have some tiny little bit of damage reduction that has to be overcome with cold iron. But, offset by the fact that, as you can tell by its size, it's got barely any hit points. If you can manage to get through that DR, it's not going to take too much of a beating. The gremlins thing is, they're trapped here on the material world, and they can't get back to the first world where they came from. And so they spend their lives taking their anger and aggression out on the creations of mortals. They travel from place to place, house to house, city to city, destroying mechanical objects and things. So you know that some of them specialize in destroying certain kind of things, but this whole thing about like this elevator shaft, this elevator seems to be broken every day when he arrives. You got a gremlin in the works is what's going on.
Great.
Okay, then Sam's not going to do that and draw an alchemist fire.
Okay.
Because there's no way Sam is ever getting through that damage reduction.
Absolutely not.
Back off from it, mates.
Alyana, you're up next.
Well,
You're staring into Chet's eyes over this tiny little creature. The two of you are flanking it at the moment. And it is tiny sized, so you can tell it's going to have to enter your square if it wants to attack you.
No attacks of opportunity.
No attacks of opportunity.
oh, so I would not need to take a 5-foot step if I wanted to
You could
cast
walk
something.
over it.
Correct, yeah.
Alyana today did not prepare mending. She prepared Ray of Frost twice and Spark once.
Got it.
So I think this is as good a time as any to try a Ray of Frost
Excellent.
on this little bugger.
All right, so give me that ranged touch attack.
Oh, that's not good. That's a natural 1.
Oh, no.
Toe!
Chet's poor, beat up, battered toe is now covered in a little rime of frostbite. That was just a standard action. If you want to move anywhere, you certainly can.
Get out the way.
Maybe she will take a 5-foot step back into the elevator shaft.
Great.
Seeing Sam obviously preparing to do something, she wants to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Not knowing what it is because she doesn't know that you have the alchemist fire.
True. Wink. Chet, you're up next.
Using his military training
Yeah.
as a watch appointee in training and stuff, he's going to take a 5-foot step to flank with that Dabwick kid.
Yeah.
And having a good two-handed grip on his sword
Not a rat! Not a rat!
and try to smash it using power attack.
All right.
Get it good.
That's a 7
Oh, no.
for 12 points of slashing damage to the floor.
To the floor. It's a mighty blow to that cavern floor. The gremlin is up next. Let's see. Who's got the most stuff? I think Dabwick is covered in the ratting supplies. The gremlin heads to the north and enters Dabwick Square to take a swing. You can make an attack of opportunity, Dabs.
Dabwick rolled a natural 20 for a 23.
Okay, that's a hit with a critical threat.
Crit confirm 17.
Critical hit
Yes.
from Dabs.
Oh, Dabwick.
That's 10 bludgeoning damage.
Oh my goodness, and Dabwick flattens it as it goes to attack them. Okay, so the little insectoid gremlin creature falls in a collapsed heap to the ground as you were all like, and the sound of chittering off in the darkness at the other end of the room begins to get a little bit louder. The rats have become agitated. They can smell blood. They can smell the fear and the adrenaline, the excitement in the air. Something's about to happen. What does Dabs want to do now?
Dabs pulls their masking scent of pheromones and says, "To me!"
So everyone gathers around Dabs as Dabs applies masking scent to them.
Yeah.
And this just makes them all smell like rats. Is that right?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Interesting.
And I will also pick up that hammer.
Yeah, it's like a toy.
Oh, is it like
To
a
you.
toy? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You could use it for walnuts.
Yeah. An interesting toy. So Dabs can hear off in the darkness that the rats are getting agitated, and there is a very large deal of them. Why don't you all go ahead and just walk your tokens around this space so you can get a sense of the size of the room while Paul starts thinking about how Dabs would want to tackle this particular assignment. Now, as you walk around the room, it ends up being, gosh, it's like 80 feet deep. It's a big room. And there is this big iron door with a brand new padlock locking it. So there are all sorts of little caves and offshoots and holes where the rats are coming in and out of this room, Dabs can see. Not a lot of sign that the rats necessarily nest in here, but that it's a communal space to come in, get water, maybe eat at some of the vegetation and stuff. They don't seem to be camped in here. Maybe they come in here through the space. They're drawn to the sound of people coming down here rather than fleeing from it. They seem to be drawn to it.
It doesn't appear to be any other rooms off of this space aside from the
Just
door
this
to the
one
north.
locked door, yeah. Story-wise, the point is there's no place in which someone your size could go.
Right.
But there's lots of places for them to go away to.
Well, one of the other alchemical things that I have is another pheromone that will drive the rats away. So I'm going to start at the nearest hole to the elevator shaft and start spreading this pheromone around to the different holes where the rats are coming out of.
So then your tactic for the day of ratting will be to drive them out
Drive
and
them out.
create a situation that would discourage them from returning here.
Right.
Rather than trying to funnel them together, kill them.
Right. Dabwick's plan is to use the pheromones to block the rats entrance into this room so they're not interested, and then seal up the holes.
Great. So this will be a day's worth of work, and I'm going to have you make a profession radar check. Are there any skills that the other three of you might like to use to contribute to this little...
Don't know if disable device will help with plugging holes and... I don't know, maybe I could go fix the elevator
You want to
shaft.
go take a look at the elevator shaft?
Yeah.
Yeah, I buy that.
I mean, I feel like Profession Farmer would absolutely be involved in, like, getting rid of vermin.
I buy it.
100%.
Absolutely. And what about Alyana, if she wants to get her fingers dirty?
I'll just clean my nails.
I mean, she doesn't want to get her fingers dirty. Yeah, I don't know that she's got anything that is apropos, unless, like, if a perception check could help determine which
Yeah.
tunnels are most likely to have activity.
I buy that with her keen elven ears.
I'll tell you what
eyes.
her elf eyes see.
Yeah, tell me what her elf eyes see. All right, so let's start with... Actually, I'm going to have... Here's what I'll do. I'll have the two of you aid Dabwick's radar check. So let's start with Alyana, keeping her eyes peeled.
No, she does not. She offers no assistance.
It's too distasteful. Chet, go ahead and give me a profession farmer check.
That's a 15.
All right, so +2 here, Dabs, to your radar check.
So with that +2, thank you, Chet.
Does that clear 10 for you?
That would clear 10. That would bring me up to 11.
Oh, just cleared 10. All right, and so, Sam, tell me about disable device check.
Can I take a 20 since we've got all this time? We should really dig in and fix whatever the gremlin did.
Yeah, I buy that because in this particular moment, there's no consequences for failure. Okay, go ahead. What does 20 give you?
26.
All right. Yeah, you can absolutely repair the elevator. And it does seem...
No extra charge, of course.
You do find, once you know what you're looking for, you do find the telltale signs of Warhammer smashes on chains and stuff that just were not particularly visible as the butler was looking around trying to figure out, what are the rats doing? The rats weren't doing it.
Are there any hidey holes up there where maybe the gremlin was hiding out, or do you think it just had the run of the place?
It seems like it had the run of the place.
Yeah.
And as you now know that this is what was going on down here, Dabs, it also seems like its presence, its chaos monkey presence down here, running around, breaking shit, and being angry at mortal life was what was agitating these rats. So this combination of getting rid of this particular gremlin infestation, along with some successful ratting, does allow Dabwick to complete the job as hired.
We all survived so far.
Would there be any reason to suspect that maybe there's rats in the room to the north?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you were hired to...
Clear the flooring, get rid of anything that was
Well, you were
agitating
hired
them.
to clear the cellar,
Right,
and the door is locked by an obviously new lock.
right.
Do you want to check it out?
Sam, would you mind taking a look at this lock?
No. How much time do I have?
So, while the rest of you are helping Dabs work on the rats, Sam just goes over and spends some time with that lock and is able to... You can get a 26?
Yep.
Just get it open. Eventually, with a 20.
I learned a lot today, Dabs.
Behind, you find a dank, low-ceilinged, 15-foot passage that goes to the north, and the walls are literally running with water, and the floor is slightly angled down to the north, so there's water dripping down these walls and sort of sluicing through another identical door with another also brand new lock to the north.
Perception check for rats.
Perception check for traps.
Go ahead and try.
That's a 25 on the perception check.
No sign of vermin in here.
20.
Boy, it's clean, Sam.
Doesn't it trap, Dabs?
I don't see any sign of rats down here, and I'm wary about going through another locked door without permission.
Whatever you say, Dabs.
All right, let's go back up and report what we've seen.
I'm gonna just
Put this lock back
put
up.
this lock back on the other door just so they don't get suspicious. We might have been where we shouldn't have been.
That's a great idea.
All right, so successful job, well done. You get your payment, head back into town. You all eat well that night, and for those of you that choose to, drink well as well. And now that the next part of the story Well, that part of the story was relatively straightforward, certainly exciting for some young teenaged adventurer wannabes. It was the second visit where things took the turn that Dabwick has for years, both obsessed over and not thought much about. It began a few days later with a simple note, hand-delivered to Dabwick by a fancy courier fellow on a large black horse. The note said only, "Your services are again requested at the infirmary. This time, bugs. Adorable waif companions welcome, of course."
That's us.
So flush with some cash from the previous job, the gang didn't need to scrounge supplies or food, and on the appointed morning, they again stood on the first level of the infirmary. And Eldasar said,
Thank you for your excellent work. Neither the master nor myself have any complaints. With the lower levels tackled, I've begun work on the floors above. In fact, I've even started moving some of the master's possessions into the second and third story, but I underestimated the difficulties with the attic. When the swamp reclaimed this area, plant life grew to an abundance, shall we say. And a large collection of vegetative matter found itself growing quite foully in the attic. Now, the plant matter is something I can take care of, but only when the bugs are dealt with. There was an infestation of giant flies up there. I made a rousing collection of loud noises in the hopes of scaring them off. The windows, as you could probably see from outside, are still broken. Most of them left. One of them, however, chased me down to the third floor and will not leave. If you would be so kind.
We'll take care of that giant fly for you, won't we, Sam?
Oh, yeah.
No need to worry about the plant life in the attic. There's no need to go up there yourself. I have that well taken care of.
Are you sure?
Sam desperately trying to meet Dabwick's eye.
Are you sure plants can be very tricky?
Not when you have fire.
All right then.
So you go up the stairs to the second floor. Let me take your tokens. So this second floor is, again, about the size of the building, so 30 feet by 40 feet. You come up a set of stairs on the north wall, and there's another set of stairs on the south wall that goes up to the third floor. The room is mostly empty at this time. There's the beginnings of some actual Master Mun tables being moved in. There's certainly some stacks of boxes in the corners, some crates by each set of stairs. There's an old desk. That was probably not the desk that Mun will end up using, but it looks as though the butler has begun bringing in some of Mun's paperwork and stuff. So there's bundles of paper on the desk you can see on the south side of the room there. And in the southeast corner, kind of opposite the base of the stairs up to the next room, there are what looks like a stack of 3 or 4 old large paintings leaning against the wall, covered up mostly by a sheet. So what's the order heading up? Dabs, then Sam, then
I don't think I want to be in the back.
then Alyana,
Yeah, maybe
and then Chet.
should take up the rear.
All right.
So you go down to the south side of that room, head up those stairs. Everybody give me perception check. Dabs.
24.
Oh, nice. And Sam?
22.
Great. Alyana?
26.
Oh, you all rocking it. And Chet?
18. My senses are alive.
You're ready for this fly.
This is interesting. Okay. So you've gone down to the south side of the room. You're making your way up these stairs, and it is dark up here. You know, there were some lights down on the ground level, but the second and third stories you could see from the outside have small windows with iron shutters shut from the outside. This was part of a prison complex at one time. So it is very dark in here, relying again on a light spell cast on a coin as you're heading up. The air gets more rank smelling as you head up, and there's kind of that, that gross, earthy, umami kind of dead bug smell as you're heading up, and then also the smell of rotting plant matter. That feels a little further away, but you all hear the distinctive sound of a buzzing of insect wings that sounds uncomfortably loud. You can tell that you're heading up into a space that has some kind of insect that is not the size that nature intended. And I won't say, with these good rolls, you're also hearing a squelching sound, like something either sliming around or chewing on something.
Perhaps a maggot of some kind.
Dabs is the first one to the top of the stairs. You trying to be stealthy as you go up, or you guys got that coin, huh?
Yeah, I don't know about stealthy.
Yeah, all right. So let me take you to this map here. So Dabs makes their way up. And you find another 30 by 40 foot room. There are no stairs going up from this room, though you do see, I've drawn with a little red line about 15 feet in front of Dabs. You all see that red line there?
Yep.
There is a ladder attached to the wall that goes up through a trap door in the ceiling. You see a whole bunch of giant tables, like 15 to 20 feet long, with 5-foot wide passages separating them. There's lots of cubbies and drawers for medicines and supplies to be packed away, but right now it's all empty. And as Dabs gets to the top of the stairs, they do indeed see a fly the size of a human being across the room, up in the northeast corner of the room, buzzing around one of the tables with some interest. Let's see, I've got some art, giant, you know what a fly looks like, but here's a giant fly art for you.
Nope.
It is iridescent green with these humongous, bigger than pie-sized red variated eyes, wings buzzing in the air. As promised, giant fly battle. Everybody roll initiative.
Yes.
We don't see anything that would account for the squelching chewing.
You sure don't yet.
Neat.
All right, we'll go in order. Coming up the stairs, Dabwick.
5.
Oh, great. Sam.
14.
Okay. Ilyana.
16.
Oh, a very respectable 16. And Chet.
Chet's 12.
All right, very average. I like it.
Really? The
12
best
is
we can
above
hope for.
average, thank you.
So, we've got this room. It's filled with these tables, and I guess I shouldn't really use the word table because they're thick enough and have enough drawers. I think they're more like counters.
Like bureaus?
You're
Or
saying I can't crawl underneath it. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying not only that, Katie, but I don't think Dabs and Sam can actually even see over the top of them because they are a little bit taller than them.
We are in that Jurassic Park part in the kitchen, and we're the kids. Is
Yes,
that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying here. That's exactly what I'm
if the
saying.
velociraptors could fly.
But I can see
Giant
over
flies
it.
can't open doors.
Chet can see over it.
Chet can see over it, but at the moment, Chet is most of the way down the
Of course,
stairs.
'cause we
What's going on up there?
wisely put him in the back.
So we pick up at the top of round 1 here. As Dabwick crests the top of the stairs, the fly is first. The fly, of course, sees and hears you all coming because of the light spell, takes to the air, moves up to the northeast corner of the room where it has got a clear flight path to dive bomb that poor Dabwick kid, which it does, zooms down to the end of the room and is now, let's see, can it hover? No. Okay. Oh, gross. So it perches, it lands on the ground, and standing on its like little tiny insect legs, Polly, this fly is bigger than Dabwick. This fly, all standing, is now looking down at Dabs as it attempts to bite the Dabs.
Crikey.
Here comes a bite attack. 16.
Hit.
Hit. 4. Ooh. Oh my god, y'all.
Don't do
We're
this.
dead.
I'm gonna kill a bunch of characters.
Don't do this.
5 points of damage.
Oh,
And if there's one thing Dabs knows about vermin, they are disease carriers. Give me a fortitude save.
Rob, how are you going to live with yourself if you kill Paul a third time today?
Somehow, Dabwick survives this. We got to figure out how that happens.
Yeah.
Right? Because Dabwick just rolled a 5. That was a
Whoa.
natural 1 on the fort save.
Okay. Well, one part of the aftermath of this episode we now know is Dabwick is carrying filth fever.
It's probably not the first or last time.
Right?
Yeah.
Alyana is up next. Alyana is behind Sam, easily looking over Sam's head. Alyana's kind of like one of the last steps near the top here, and just saw this fly land looming over Dabs, biting with its biting mouth parts right into that Dabwick kid, and you can see Dabwick writhing and howling in pain. What do you want to do here,
I
Robert?
have so many good options.
Oh my gosh. We're a little bit, this takes me back to the dungeon and that chunk of episodes where you were near the top of the stairs. So this railing here is helpful unless you need to get past it or attack through it where it will provide cover.
My only attack options would be the Ray of Frost or the short bow, both of which I would take a penalty for basically firing into melee, correct?
That's correct. And I'm not entirely sure you've got a great angle
And
down
also,
here.
yeah, I'm lower, right? So
Yeah, you're a little bit lower.
I think I got to. I'm gonna hold and see if something better presents itself this turn, and I might just not take an action if that's what winds up happening.
Fair enough. Holler at me if you want to jump back in.
Will do.
Sam, you are up next. You're right behind Dabs. You're seeing Dabs writhing in pain as this massive fly, bigger than you, like twice as big as you, is looming about 10 feet to the north of you.
Dabs just got hurt too, yeah?
Yes.
Not that I can help that, but I can not make it worse.
Don't you have that potion?
Oh, that's right, I do.
You do have a Cure Light Wounds potion.
Although, in fairness, we should probably wait till we really need it. Although we might really need it now.
Keeping Dabs alive, I think, is the whole
Mission
point here.
priority.
So,
Dabs is going to live. We know this. It's canon.
Dabs cannot die in this
don't
scene.
you mess with this. You might
Don't
die,
keep
and
saying
then
that aloud, because if you do die,
we'll just find a
we
way
got
to
to
bring
figure
you
out the
back.
story
yeah.
of what happens.
So I could either like acrobatics sort of out of the way to prep to throw an alchemist fire, or I could feed Dabs this potion, but the first thing clears the way for other people to get through.
Oh,
You're right, Dabs.
No.
All right. Yeah, so I draw the potion of cure light wounds,
all right.
full round action to force feed it to someone. Yeah,
It sure is. You could press it into Dabs' hands, though.
that's what I'll do.
All right, so draw a potion and give it to Dabs.
Yeah,
Excellent.
And then you could do a 5-foot step, right?
There's nowhere to find a
I
step.
can't because
Yeah.
I'm on the bloody stairs.
Yeah, the spacing is grim. Darn initiative for the fly.
Yeah.
All right, Chet's up next. Chet is even lower down the stairs than Elyana.
But all that's up above me is the railing, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to try to climb.
Muscle yourself over it. Give me a climb
Yeah, that's my job is to get up there and fight the fly.
check. We didn't come here not to fight the
Yeah,
fly.
I'm gonna climb.
So as much as I love mid-levels, I do love going back to this where it's
I do
like
too.
a giant fly is a terrifying terror. I
right.
love that stuff.
This
I
is
got a
actually my
9.
favorite part.
Does that do it?
It does do it. So
right.
Chet has managed to pull himself up because it wasn't a 10. You've used a full move action to, on the map, move 5 feet, but really you muscled yourself up effectively 10 feet and hold yourself over the railing. So you're up there right now, Johnny.
So I'm here.
Yep.
All right. And then all I've got left is I can't actually get to it to fight it. Oh, no, actually.
You could have pulled yourself to the square adjacent to Dabs. If you wanted to, you could then attack.
Great. Then I will do that.
Done and done. Swing your mighty sword,
Swat that thing.
Chet Acresville. Is that what it was?
Acresville. Yeah, he draws. He's got. Well, no. Would he? Well, he can draw it on the move because he's got a +1.
He does have a +1.
Yeah, so he can draw it on the move.
In terms of drawing weapons, the
Absolutely.
least shitty NPC
Exactly.
class.
And let's see. Do I still have? I've still got power attack on. Two-handed.
Swing!
That's an 18
That is a hit on the giant fly.
for 9 points of slashing damage.
Ooh.
That's great.
Mighty blow. Chet's watch-issued long sword arcs down, slices through the air over Debs' head, cuts deep into the top of the fly right near its wings. It also makes a terrible, terrible screaming sound. What is the sound of a giant insect in pain? All of your ears are filled with that wonderfulness.
That was a standard issue number 72 that I used right there.
Perfect.
That's
perfect.
the name of that type of longsword.
All right, Alyana, we're kind of nearing the end of the round here, and you're seeing the situation above you getting only more clumped. However, you did observe Chet just climb over the railing.
I could move through allies, correct?
You can, yeah.
That would probably provoke, though.
From the fly?
Yeah.
Yes, it would. Do you have any acrobatics, or you're not so? Oh.
Do you have
They don't teach you that in finishing
That's
school.
adorable. No, I don't have any. I don't think. No, I don't have any acrobatics. I can't climb, so I'm here. I'm just gonna stay here.
If you want to use a full round action, you could pull yourself up and over the railing and plop yourself down behind Chet up on the second floor there.
Right there.
Yeah, basically, if you take the time to do that.
Yeah, I'll do that. Just
Okay.
so I'll move myself. Yeah.
So, all right. So Alyana's behind Chet now, and then still Dabwick hasn't even acted, and you all hear this disgusting, fleshy, putrid, slurshing, schluckling sound up in the northwest corner of the room, behind all of these cabinets. Nobody's got eyes on what's making that sound, but there's something else in the room with
Does
you.
it seem like it's getting closer to us?
It does seem like it's getting closer to Alyana, who's in the rear.
Hi.
Hi.
Where you just suggested I go.
That's exactly how I work. Dabwick, you are up at the end of the round. You are bleeding profusely from the bite wound of a giant fly, riddled with disease, feeling weak, and seeing your life flash before your very young eyes.
But holding a potion. of
Holding-
cure
Holding a
wounds.
potion. So, yeah, Dabwick would like to get out
Yeah.
from underneath this giant fly and drink their potion. So, can I go to the southwest?
If you go south and southwest, you're going down the stairs. You wanna retreat and leave your pals up on the floor with the fly?
Well,
I mean, your options are bad, right? You can
My
either go
options are
deeper
bad.
into the room in between the two long cabinets / tables that you can't see under or over.
Right.
Or you go back down the stairs and leave Sam in front of you with his 4 hit points.
right. Or can I try to acrobat past the fly to get into a potential flanking position in the future?
To try to go through the fly space is going
Yeah.
to make the DC probably
Ridiculous.
unreachable at this
Right,
level.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Dabwick's going back because they're not prepared to be on the front line right now.
Okay. Back down the stairs?
Yeah.
All right, give me that acrobatics check to leave the fly's threatened area.
Or if you want to take a full round, you could always
Withdraw.
You
withdraw.
could. Totally an option.
Yeah. Total.
But that means no potion until next turn.
Right.
Yeah.
But you
I'm
can get yourself wherever you want to go.
right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I'll do. Thank you.
Where are you heading in that case?
Still same
place.
Same place.
All right, so very carefully and cautiously moving your way back down the stairs behind Sam. That's the end of round 1. Top of round 2. The giant fly is up, just got brutally attacked by Chet. All right. Gonna press the attack this round, although it does... I'm not going to say what it seems like. You don't know. It's a fucking insect. It edges a little closer, takes a 5-foot... Oh, God.
Hover.
On its huge feet, standing on the ground right now, and goes after... Oh, no. Sam. Ooh, boy.
It would be going after Sam, even though I was the one that just hit it.
Here, so Sam is half of its size, and it's hungry. I made a random die roll. It's going after Chet. 19
Yep, that's going to hit me.
for 3 points of damage. Kind of a little bit of a grazing blow, but give me a fortitude save for Chet.
That's a 9.
Oh, gosh. Oh, boy. Filth fever abounds.
Ow!
Sam, you are up. The giant fly is looming over you.
Wait, it's on the ground?
It's on the ground.
Hate that.
Yeah. It's got its mouth parts inside of Chet, and Chet is howling in pain.
I'm really sorry to do this, Debs. But we're going to do-si-do again.
Oh,
no.
Or I could try going northwest and then northeast to get behind it, but I don't really want to be next to it in any capacity. Or I could go 2 squares northwest, maybe, but I don't think I can actually do that diagonal from the stairs.
You do see that, like, Chet would be able to take a 5-foot step and then be flanking with you, so if you wanted to wait.
Can't tell you how bad my damage is.
If you held off and you and I dozy-doed on who
I
went.
see.
That's all.
Yeah, all right. I'll hold for Chet then.
All right. Chet's up next. Still on his feet, but taking some damage. Taking some damage to the big fly. Takes a 5-foot step to the north, moves into a flanking position.
Pincer maneuver!
Yes, he learned this at watch school.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Get that, at this level, very important +2 flanking bonus.
Swat it!
That is a 12.
Is that with flanking?
That's with flanking.
Okay. Unsuccessful. The fly is able to avoid your attack this round. We're back at Sam again now. It's still there. It's still looming over you. And Chet cleared one of the spaces you were looking at maybe sneaking through, but it's still right there. And it's still standing.
I have to leave you, Dabs, no matter what. I think I'm going to try to go here with an acrobatics, if I can. If not, I've got no choice but to try to go back down the stairs behind Dabs.
Yeah, I think you can. Go ahead. Give me that acrobatics check. So Sam is attempting to tumble to the northwest between the fly and Ilyana.
I got a 12.
So as you move from that, from your starting position into the square between it and Ilyana, it does take a bite at you. Oh, that's good news. 5 is probably a miss.
It is a miss.
All right, so you can keep going.
Pretty lucky. And I will draw an Alchemist Fire.
Alchemist Fire. All right, so Sam is now tucked between these.
Do I see anything?
You sure don't. You see nothing but Ilyana because you've got these giant looming counters between you.
Right.
You are fully in the kitchen with the velociraptors.
Oh, God.
Ilyana, you're up. You are 10 feet away from the fly.
Can I draw and shoot at the same turn?
You can, absolutely.
Great. She's going to pull out the short bow.
Yep.
And
let an arrow fly.
See what the hell happens. How are you with this little elf? 14? I use an action point.
You wish.
Is that -4 for shooting into melee anyway, though?
Oh,
yeah.
Then so that's a 10.
No good. She's never fought an actual giant vermin before, and all of her. She's only learned how to fire while standing in the practice yard.
She is rethinking her choices of not just staying at home and having her hair brushed.
Yep. And then enter Giant Maggot.
I knew it. God damn it, I knew it. Oh, come on. I didn't need to. We don't need art for a giant maggot.
Behind Ilyana, slorching and slithering around the corner, there is a maggot as big as a full-grown human.
Nope.
Slurps around, closes with Ilyana.
Oh, God.
And empties its putrid stomach all over her.
She does not like this.
Endless stream of vile bile splashes the elven aristocrat head to toe. Give me a, what is it? A fortitude save there, Ilyana. I'm sure you rocket those.
good.
Oh, yeah, she is real good at that. 0.
That's pretty good for an elf.
Oh,
I've
God.
got a negative.
Does this
modifier.
maggot even know who my parents are?
I try to convince it.
That's a 4 on the fortitude save.
Oh.
No, you're all diseased.
Disease if I'm lucky, I think.
You will be sickened for the next minute.
Oh.
-2 penalty on all attack rolls, saving throws, skill checks, and ability checks.
Second.
I mean, sickened is never good, but sickened when you're a 0 level
It's terrible.
character,
It's terrible.
not great.
So Alyana is reeling and retching as she's covered in giant maggot bile while its biting mouth parts are inches away from her face. Dabwick, you are up, down the stairs, around the corner. You've barely got eyes on what's happening over there.
Despite Dabwick's low hit points, the moment calls for stepping into flank with Chet.
Flanking the giant fly with Chet.
Mm-hmm.
Swing that mighty quarterstaff.
It's 14.
Is that with flanking?
Oh, no, that's without flanking. So that's a 16 with flanking.
Hit thanks to the flanking. Go, Chet. That's teamwork.
Pincer
That's
maneuver.
4 points of bludgeoning damage.
And the giant fly drops as Dabwick smashes it across the face with their quarterstaff. We still have the giant maggot to deal with.
Yeah, that's bad.
Boom, shoo, pow. So that was a 5-foot step and a standard action. You have a move equivalent action left if there's anything else you want to draw to hand.
Can I drop the quarterstaff and draw a dart?
Done and done.
Potion in one hand, dart in the other.
Top of round 3, giant fly is dead. Get it out of here. Get it out of here. Chet.
Good luck getting to that maggot,
Oh my
Chet.
God.
Jesus Christ, look at this board.
Yes, this room has now gotten insane. The maggot is not far from Chet, but for Chet to reach it, Chet will have to get up onto the cabinets or go all the way around the room. What do you think of there, Johnny?
Oh, I think that Chet is absolutely going to clamber up onto the cabinets and then jump across to the other cabinet and swing down like the stupid watchman that he is. Because
All right.
why wouldn't you?
Give me a climb check to get up on this first cabinet.
Climb.
That's a 6.
Okay, DC 5, you're good.
Excellent.
And then you want to leap over Sam's head onto the next.
Sam's below it,
Yeah, I'm
so
level
literally
with it.
it's a
that's
5-foot
right.
jump from one thing to the
All
other.
right, give me the acrobatics check.
Step on my head.
Let's see what happens.
And you don't have a running start.
Nope. 13.
Made it. So Chet leaps through the air over Sam's head, lands on the cabinet above the giant maggot.
Oh,
Higher ground. So let's see, 5, 15, 20. Oh yeah, you got an attack left.
yes, I
You
do.
got a standard action left.
Higher ground.
All the things he's learned in watch school. Oh, that's a 19 for 7 slashing.
7 slashing.
That's right. I'm
Chet-
power attacking the entire
Chet
time.
leaps the air, higher ground, and slices the maggot in two, splashing Alyana with even more bile, but ending its foul, foul life. So we got a damaged Dabwick here holding that cure potion. Do you want to use that, or do you want to cast a spell? Did you prepare a cure spell?
Dabwick didn't prepare a cure spell, but Dabwick will thrust the Cure Light Wounds potion back towards Sam.
Yeah.
And say, Sam, this doesn't belong to us.
Yes.
You've got to bring this back to Doltec and let them know that you're sorry.
You're right. Takes it. Pockets it.
Does Sam feel that
Pounce.
Dabwick is right?
No.
Is Sam going to do it anyways?
No.
Chet, you were amazing.
You too.
Way to go. Oh, dear, Alyana.
I feel gross.
Yeah.
Oh,
You do look gross.
I want to go take a bath if I could.
All right, well, that's the job. You heading back down, Dabs?
do you want to see what's up this ladder?
I mean, yeah.
Don't you want...
Little bit.
You all want to see it, don't you?
Yeah.
You gonna poke your heads up the ladder? Yeah. All right, let me grab your tokens and I'll give you a view of the next floor up.
Seems rather non-lawful for you, Dabwick.
Just
We're
to
just
make sure.
making sure.
Just like we did before. Not taking anything that's not ours.
What
right,
could
Sam?
possibly go
Absolutely
wrong?
not taking anything what's not ours.
As you all climb up that ladder and poke your heads through the trapdoor, you see that the next floor of this building is another single room that's the size of the building, so 30 feet by 40 feet. Again, no stairs going up, but there is another ladder next to where this one emerges that goes up to the next level. Now that trapdoor is closed, and as Dabs is sort of the first one up here to kind of look around, you do see a whole bunch of dead, rotted out looking vines having kind of made their way through the cracks on that trapdoor, but they don't look so great, they don't look so healthy. Nothing's moving. It smells planty and kind of swampy and gross up here. But this room itself is a big open room, probably again left over from the old days. Some random tables and chairs left in the corner, some old supply crates with stuff that's rotted out. This floor does not have any windows. So the first 3 floors have those narrow prison windows that are barred. This floor has no windows. And then you saw from the outside, as the butler was talking about, the 2 sort of attic levels above had kind of big skylight windows that were all smashed and stuff. And so what is probably above you is the attic, and that's behind a closed trapdoor. Do you want to press on into the vegetation?
Dabwick's not inclined to, but yeah, if everything seems okay.
Give me a perception check.
Just Dabs.
No, everybody can.
That's a 20 total.
Ooh, give me a survival too, Dabs.
Ooh, Sam got a natural 20 on perception.
16.
16 for perception for Chet.
And perception for Sam.
26.
And Olga.
13.
And your survival there.
16.
I think you would determine that... Okay. You would definitely be able to find the wet spot where the maggot had rolled out of the level above at some point before that trapdoor was closed, slithered down into a dark corner where it may have gone unnoticed by the butler while he was kind of going up and down trying to scare the flies away, and then the wet trail back to this trapdoor where it then splorched out onto the level below. But you don't see any signs of anything else having traveled through this chamber, really.
Okay. Well, let's go back and report.
You make your way down the ladder to the 3rd floor, and then Dabs leads the way down the stairs to the 2nd floor. And this is the first time you're getting sort of a head-on, a face-on, a full frontal view of this stack of paintings leaning against the wall at the bottom of those stairs there. They've got an old sheet draped over it, kind of covering a view of them when you're coming from the north. But coming down this way, Dabs, you're sort of stopped at the bottom of the stairs as you get a glimpse of the bottom quarter, the corner of whatever this particular painting is, and it looks like it's streets, like an artistic rendering of some sort of like an alley or a street, and it scratches this little itch in your head like, did I pass that in my time with old mom? No. Did I pass that when I lived over on Fletcher Road? No. Have I seen it before? But you're drawn to it, and it seems to be pulsing with a soft yellow radiance that Dabs is immediately drawn to. Let's see exactly how drawn with a will save.
That's a 22.
Without making the conscious decision to do so, having caught sight of the corner of this painting, Dabs walks down the stairs, and you all are following Dabs at this point, and walks 5 feet directly forward instead of turning to the right where they would go to go downstairs, and uncovers this painting, feeling compelled to supernaturally, and you come face to face with this image of a city that is beyond your ability to comprehend. It is this strangely angular landscape that is, as you look at it, it begins to writhe, and the angles seem to engulf the corners. What does that even mean? These obscene angles and otherworldly architecture. You feel your pulse start to race, sweat beating upon your forehead. It is beautiful and profane, but neither the beauty or the profanity matter as much as the absolute power and perfection of it. And while Dabwick stares into this painting and it becomes revealed to the three of you behind it, I need will saves from the three of you. Sam.
It's a 6, but it's an 8 if it's versus fear.
It's not versus fear. Alyana.
Also a 6.
Chet.
Natural 1.
Paul. Give me one more will save for Dabwick.
That's in 11.
So, I had no idea what the story of today was going to be. Like, part of me was like, don't prep anything for the end because it's very likely you're all going to get killed off in any of these fights because, zero-level characters are so fragile. This is so interesting. So I'm going to try to tell the story of how this day ended. Dabwick walks down these stairs, is entranced by this view of what they will one day come to understand is a painting of Carcosa. Because it's not the actual city itself, just a representation. They don't immediately learn its name at that moment in time, but they are compelled to reveal this entire obscene profanity of an object to their companions behind them. Now, what Dabs remembers is their pals watching them kind of stare at the painting for a while and saying like, oh, we're going to go downstairs and we'll meet you outside. And, if I take your time, we'll meet you back in the city. And Dabs just kind of like nodding their head. Yeah, great. And then Dab's going downstairs, collecting their money, filling in the butler on what happened, and then going back home. But then, like the next day, they didn't, they usually see Sam in the mornings, as Sam is working the crowds. And usually as Dabs is making their route through the city, they'll pass by they'll go through the shipyard and they'll see Chet and they'll wave to him. So even if it's a day where they're not hanging out, they'll see each other. And Alyana is an idle aristocrat and often has very little to do and usually stops by at some point to say hi. I didn't see her for a bit. And then kind of days went on and they still didn't see them. And that sort of hit them wrong. Like, did I offend them? Did I do something? Maybe this was too dangerous. Maybe I shouldn't have brought them along. Maybe they don't want to have anything to do with me because I put them in danger and I destroyed Alyana's outfit, which is more than I see in a month. And Dabs became certain that, their friends just didn't want to hang out with them anymore. And life progressed, and Dabwick got sadder and sadder about the loss of their friends, while they sort of transitioned into the next part of their life where they began to slowly turn this work of theirs into a business, and they resolutely, until eventually, sort of teaming up from time to time with investigators like Irost Cold Fury. But there was a period of time where they worked always alone. Because, when you work with others, you put them in danger, and maybe you do or say things that offend them, and maybe you piss them off, and maybe they don't like or respect you. The guilt of you having to then spend a week of recovering from filth fever, knowing that Chet is probably going through the same thing. You don't even actually know if Alyana got sick during that period of time. And that's how Dabwick had always kind of thought about this episode and why they didn't want to linger on it, because they saw this amazing thing that inspired this little piece in the back of their head, but it was carried with this sense of you put people in danger and they don't want to be with you. Mm-hmm. And as you walk these dead roads down this obsidian staircase into the land of death before you emerge into the dreaming, you are gifted with a memory of what actually happened, which was that the instant you revealed the painting, all three of them were sucked into it, and then you see them standing on the streets of Carcosa, looking around them like, what the fuck just happened? But the painting itself, as part of this trap, stole your memory of it and told you a story that your friends didn't want to be with you and left on their own so you wouldn't think about it. And as we pick up next time, entering the Dreamlands, Dabs recalls that their friends are stuck inside this painting in Mun's house. And that is the end of our first interlude of Act 3. We'll pick up next time.
Wow.
Oh,
Awesome.
Mama.
Awesome.
Dark Nexus is produced by Plug and Hum Productions. This podcast uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Incorporated, used under Paizo's fan content policy. This podcast is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, please visit paizo.com. That's PAIZO.com. Dark Nexus uses music and soundscapes by Syrinscape. Check them out at syrinscape.com. That's SYRINSCAPE.com. Opening and closing themes, along with additional music, composed by Rob Kauzlaric. Artwork for Dark Nexus is by Matt Wahlquist. And thanks to DMCP, Richard and R.A., Paul and Shannon, Chris, Scotty, Jason, Jess, Joe, Chelsea, Matt, Dave, Derek, Darren, Michaela, J.H., the Biscuit Buddies, and everyone we've gamed with over the years for all the memories and inspiration.
Click the tab. Click the skills. Can you find skills?
Stop. Yes. Did you find them? Get the skills. Find the skills. Find the skills.
Are you looking on your sheet?
Are you even in
Have you
Roll20,
tried
bro?
turning it off and turning it on again?
Oh, I didn't mean to click tell me more. God damn it.